Good morning and welcome to the Senior Hour, which is sponsored by Santa Clarita In-Home Care and Advanced Audiology. I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host,
Dr. Jean Dorio,
on your hometown station AM 1220 KHTS. This is a show for, about, and by seniors, giving information to enhance one's quality of life. And our first guest this morning is Margie Weiss of Oakmont Senior Living.
Hello.
Welcome. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you again.
And later in the hour, we will have Nola Aronson of Advanced Audiology. Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
And how are things going over at Oakmont?
are we built yet?
We are building.
But you had an event there.
We did, Dr.
So
Dorio.
I saw some photos and I thought, is that outside or is that inside?
That
or is that
was-
a tent?
It was a tent
Oh, it was a
outside
tent
in front of our
outside.
construction. So we had a fundraiser for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. So it was our first event on site, and we had some food trucks, and we had music, we had face painting, we had a bouncy, and we raised over $450 for Team Oakmont and the Walk to End Alzheimer's. We had a lot of fun. It was really great. It was fun. It was our first event, and we weren't really sure what to expect, and the community just really supported us.
So how did those seniors like the face painting and the bouncy?
They loved it. They loved it. Those seniors were bouncing away.
All right. No broken hips.
Nothing. Nope.
Yay.
All good.
Okay, good for you.
That's funny. That's funny.
And
I
raise
can
some
see all of
funds.
these seniors bouncing up and down in this bouncy house. Well, I would do it.
Yep, next time let us know. We'll be over there
Oh,
doing
All right,
flips.
next year.
We'll teach people how to bounce.
There you go.
I'll bet.
We used to be bouncers
See,
before we got this job.
well, I feel like I was bounced to death this morning at the gym.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
that
good.
trainer put me through it. Oh, I'm telling you.
But you feel better now, don't you?
Oh, I do. Because I came home and took a shower and think, yes, I did all she said I could do. And I did.
There you go.
Because she's pushing me further. Pushing me a lot
There,
further.
sometimes you have to have a whip and be able to get yourself motivated.
That
well,
is true.
that's why I have a trainer. Because if I don't, I go there or I don't go there. And that's more than likely what I do is I don't go because I'm not pushed to go. But with the trainer there, I'm going.
You're going, and they're probably not, they're holding you accountable, but
That's-
also
that's
you're
right.
being trained in a safe way.
That's right.
Which
Right.
has its
She's
analogy
great.
to Oakmont because people are living at home and they're finding that it's not as easy as it used to be. It's harder to keep the house clean. It's harder to stay stocked up in the refrigerator, do the lawn. All the little things of life just get to be more difficult.
They're happening
And-
at our house now.
yeah. But, there's Oakmont available for our seniors to be able to start a life there that's in control and safe and allowing our seniors a place to continue their quality of life.
Absolutely. We're going to offer all those amenities. And actually, Barbara, we're going to have a fitness center. We'll have
Bouncy?
some fitness trainers. I don't know
That's
about it. Bouncy
wonderful.
for special events
Face painting?
every day.
All right.
We'll face paint every day. But we will be doing classes like yoga and Tai Chi. It's more than just, seniors don't want to just sit and be fit. So they need to be
Well, when
challenged
you-
on balance.
That's true.
And core.
When you sit, you are not always fit because the
Right.
more you sit, the weaker you become.
Right. And if it's safe to be up and standing and holding onto the back of a chair and challenging yourself a little bit in a safe environment with someone that's trained to make sure that that you're doing the exercises appropriately, that's the way to do it. But you've got to have variety. It needs to be fun.
Variety is the spice of life.
Absolutely. It's true.
So the variety they'll have there, especially physical-wise, for our seniors, I mean, they're going to have certain things like their meals, transportation will be taken care of, things like that. But the exercise part is going to be key. And certainly if you remain motionless or immobile, you're going to get into trouble.
Absolutely.
So they have a whip over there, right?
I'll be the whip, huh?
All right.
You know, my background, I'm a physical therapist.
That's right.
That's how you and I met. And I have that knowledge that I can share, but we're also going to bring in other experts to help, from, you know, walking clubs out in our gardens to, again, doing things that deal with the core, deal with strengthening. You don't need to always have a machine and go to a gym. You can do it in a group setting. You can use elastic bands. You can use free weights. You can use gravity. You know,
Gravity.
if that's what
It's
it
the
is.
best. It's
That's
free.
right. And it's
And
safe.
it's there.
Right.
Isaac Newton.
Right. And we're going to actually
Get that
tie
apple.
the exercise into our diabetic wellness program, because that's a
Have
key
to.
component of managing your diabetes. So not only, you know, monitoring blood sugar and finger sticks and eating healthy, but also that exercise is a huge component, as you know, in maintaining proper blood sugars.
Good for you. So a lot of things are going to be going on there, but, you know, I still say the most important part is certainly exercise plays a role, but state of mind, attitude, and what you take into it. And of course, some people expect things to be given to them. They think that they're going to be living in a place where, you know, it's going to just absorb by osmosis into their body. It doesn't work that way. You really do have to earn it.
Right.
So you have to have the right attitude wherever you are.
Right.
But I think, you know, you'll provide that opportunity for them.
Absolutely. You know, it's a big transition to make a move, and we're in
Huge.
tune to that. And so many of the seniors sometimes see it, you know, some see it as, I can't wait. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. You know, I can be on a cruise ship that's docked, and I can participate in activities and just really focus on me and enjoying my senior years. But there are some where it is a transition, and it is giving up my home, and it is giving up my flower garden and, you know, my stuff. And we're especially going to focus on those seniors and help them make that transition so that it's successful for them for whatever the reason is, whether it's health, whether it's being closer to a family member. There's so many reasons why someone makes the move. And so our goal is to make it smooth and easy and flawless.
You know, I must be a little bit different because I like to cook, I like to clean, I like to dust, I like to do these things because it keeps me active. And when you
You're right.
vacuum the floor, you see the change. When you dust, you see the change. And to me, that's an accomplishment in some way. So if you need people over there to dust and clean for you, I'll come over and spend some of my time
That's a deal.
in
And you
some of
know-
the rooms. If they don't want to do it, I'll be fine with it.
And the nice thing too, Dr. Dorio, is if somebody loves to dust and vacuum, then go right ahead. You know, it's not like we're going to be taking that away from anyone. We're there to enrich their lives. So if that's important, go right ahead. You know, if you want to continue to do your laundry, absolutely. Our 1-bedroom and our 2-bedroom apartments actually have full kitchens. So if you don't want to cook tonight, you know,
Go down to the cafeteria.
yeah, go down. Actually, it's going to be an executive chef restaurant style. It is
Oh,
not
wow.
a cafeteria.
It's not.
It's going to be anytime dining. Again, I kind of make an analogy like a cruise ship. So anytime from 7:30 in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, you can go into the dining room, choose off a menu what you'd like to eat at that time.
But it's not
So-
buffet where you
Oh,
can
no.
get a plate and see. I like that. That's cruise ship style.
No, you eat in the dining room.
And
dining
I know, but what if you want to take it back to your room or
Then
go out
we'll-
on the patio or things
We'll
like
pack
that?
it for you to go. And we're actually going to have an outdoor dining area that overlooks Magic Mountain.
Ooh, all right.
I need to get you over. You need to come
Well,
see.
I know the area very well, so I
Yeah.
see the view that you have. I think is
Yeah.
great. You know, I always worry about some of with my mom who's 93.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the things she cherishes, other than her 2 cats, is her garden. You know, she goes out and, you know, she has a lawn, but she doesn't use a lawnmower. She'll get shears in her hands and actually get on her knees and, you know, shear the areas of grass where it keeps her busy.
Absolutely. And so for someone like your mom, our garden, we have a very large garden area at Oakmont. Some of it's going to be up on raised tables for those that maybe have arthritis or difficulty getting down on their hands and knees. But our goal is to have fresh vegetables and herbs and flowers and whatever they want to plant, they will tend to their own garden so that they could have it. That's like my mom. I remember when they moved from Woodland Hills, the hardest thing was giving up her rose garden.
Yeah.
It was so
I
hard.
agree.
So
I have a rose garden in the backyard and one in the front yard,
Mm-hmm.
and I love roses. I don't leave them outside. I bring them inside so that I can enjoy them. Put them in
Right.
vases.
Uh-huh.
And I
Oh,
have
after you've
one,
cut
two,
them,
three, four.
You
I have-
decapitated them.
Yes, I have 4 vases full of roses
Wow.
inside.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And I love that. I really do. Everybody says, well, why don't you leave them out there? They look pretty. They look prettier in my
Inside.
house because I'm inside more than I am outside.
right.
The only
I
time I'm
agree.
outside is get in the car and go someplace. Or maybe sit in the backyard with the 2 kitty cats.
No, you know,
Speaking of animals, sorry, you allow animals there too,
Absolutely.
don't you?
We are pet friendly. We'll have a pet park that's got an enclosed area if you want your dog to be off leash or your cat to be off leash. I'm having a good time. Actually, I have a golden retriever who's 3, and I've been bringing him to our information center. And
cat friendly.
it will be cat friendly, of course.
Okay, just wondering. Just making
Yes.
sure my mom's
And-
cat doesn't get eaten
Well,
up.
it's
No. And if, somebody can't manage the pet, then the staff would be there to assist them,
and that's very important
Mm-hmm.
for elderly to have a pet, especially if they have lost a spouse.
Right.
That pet becomes their life. It really
Absolutely.
does.
Hear that, guys? It's easy to
Yes.
be replaced.
That was
That's-
totally uncalled for.
I'm listening, though. You hear
Yes,
me
you are.
listening.
Yes, but if one spouse loses another, the pet can really fill that void.
Right.
Absolutely.
Really can.
Goes back and gives that purpose, that companionship.
That's right. And the companionship is the key.
Absolutely.
Well, friendships
is.
and so being social, and for some people they're not social, and they can stay in their rooms and do the things that they still want to do, read and contemplate and things like that. But it's the opportunity to be social, and that's what you have a theater there as well.
We do.
That will show movies, I assume, and things like that.
Absolutely. We have a joke. We're going to be doing a matinee every day,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll do an evening show as well, maybe around 7, and then at 9 or 9:30 when the movie's over, we'll go in and we'll wake everybody up and say, everybody go back to your room now. Movie's over. Turn
That's
off
true.
the
Don't
popcorn
make it too
machine.
comfortable.
Yeah. Actually, it's those big leather recliner chairs,
Oh, good
stadium
luck.
seating. Yeah.
Oh, my
Mm.
goodness.
It's really
Now, will
gonna
there be a
nice.
television hooked up to it? So, for instance, on Sunday afternoons, the guys can go up and watch their football games,
Absolutely.
or Saturday or college games, and
Right.
baseball games if the World Series coming up. Kind of exciting.
All of that
So
will
it'll be a big screen type of thing. And
Right, it's a projection
serve some,
screen.
Serve some hot dogs and some popcorn and
There's-
peanuts and
You
yell
got
at the
it.
umpire and things like that.
Now, are
Hot tamales.
all of these 1 and 2 bedroom apartments furnished?
No.
They're not.
You would bring your own
Bring your
because
own
just like you were
furnish.
moving into your home. The only apartment homes that would be furnished will be in our memory care. If you're in a shared unit, we will offer that option of a bed and a chair and a dresser because you're sharing and we want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable in a shared room. So that would be provided. But all the other apartments, you'd bring your own because that's your stuff. It'll
That's
make it
right.
feel like your home.
Now, what about with me doing house calls, and about 30% of my patients now are bedridden. So would that be a possibility to have bedridden patients? Because, they might start off, ambulatory and being able to, be active and things
Right.
like that. But, after a while, they end up in a wheelchair, and, sometimes it's electric. But, as we move forward in life, we're also moving physically the other direction, and sometimes it ends up where we're bedridden. And
Right,
so
and-
I see that, and I just kind of wonder how that can be handled too, because I know in other places I've had patients who that you've been associated with who have been bedridden, and I want to assure that, and I think that all of us have to be assured that they're not being pushed. This is not the last stop, that they're going to be pushed into a nursing home, because that's their biggest fear.
Absolutely.
Going to a place like this, they want to live there, but like life is, they want to die there too.
And that's why we'll have a hospice waiver, so that at end of life, we can do that transition and work with hospice and with the physician to make sure that they don't have to move. You know, sometimes there are medical issues that come up that an assisted living can't manage, and then it wouldn't be safe for the resident. So if it's deemed with the physician and the family and our licensing regulations, we obviously want to do the right thing. But the bottom line is, you're right. At end of life, nobody wants to be told, okay, now you need to move. So we will definitely have that hospice waiver to work to make sure that end of life is just what you or I would want.
And you mentioned the magic word, regulatory, because you and I both know that there are some regulations in the state of California that hamper our seniors from living in their homes, boarding cares and assisted living. That is not good. And of course, you know, we want them to be able to have, if they're bedridden, they're in their bed. But you know, sometimes you have to have a catheter, a Foley catheter, a suprapubic catheter, a colostomy bag. You know, there are things that are there that, you know, right now for our senior population, you know, we're going to have to turn around and start fighting to change the regulation so it accommodates our seniors who are going to want to live at home, stay in their home, and die in their home.
Right. And you know, with those examples that you shared, because Oakmont's going to have an LVN on staff 16 hours a day, you know, having a catheter or having a colostomy bag, those aren't prohibited by Title 22, but you have to be able to state that you're going to be able to safely manage your resident that has them. So by having that nurse, we'll be able to do that. Same thing, you know, I know you and I have worked together with patients that are diabetic, and when they get to the point where they're not able to inject the insulin themselves, we had that push-pull, you know, we have to be compliant. Can they stay here? Can they not? Well, part of the diabetic wellness program, because we have that nurse, the nurse will be able to help with the finger stick. The nurse can do that injection, and the resident can stay.
That's wonderful.
And it has been where they haven't been able to stay.
That's right.
And you know, it's not worthy in terms of senior care that they don't get that kind of care.
Right.
But it's not the fault of the assisted living, the boarding care,
Correct.
Or even them living in their home. It's the fault of the government and regulations that have taken this over without the knowledge of what needs to be done and how to keep our seniors. And I think our focus should be that we make sure that if a person wants to stay in their home, if they want to stay in assisted living or a boarding care, they don't have to be shuffled out to a nursing home.
Right.
And my thought is that right now, 90% of our patients end up in a nursing home. And you know, that is really one of the biggest fears that our seniors have.
Right.
And they don't want to die in a hospital. They don't want to be looking at people they don't know in an environment they don't know. They want to be at home in a comforting environment.
Absolutely.
And I want 90% one day, that in 10 years from now, I hope, if not sooner than that 90% will be able to die at home if they want that.
Right.
And we just don't have that right now, and I think that is, my patients are doing that because we know all the resources here in Santa Clarita have been really good for us, but the laws have blocked us.
The other thing, too, that's very important is getting long-term care insurance.
Absolutely.
That really makes a big difference. It doesn't cover everything financially,
No.
but it certainly does assist.
Absolutely. And the sooner you purchase it, you know, my husband and I actually just purchased 2 months ago because we knew, you know, as you get older, it becomes more expensive and you don't want to be a burden to your children, and you want to have that option. More and more, we're starting to see residents coming forward with long-term care. Not so many the residents that are in their 90s. Now, some of them have that policy, but it's just for skilled nursing because there weren't assisted livings.
No,
so you
that's
need
very
to make
true.
sure that you've got in-home care, assisted, and skilled, because as we know, sometimes you do have to be in a skilled, you know, for a short period.
You do.
But looking at all those options to make sure that when you go to utilize your policy, you can utilize it.
And you know, you have really given a lot of information. I mean, more than we did before, because I think we had a long period of time to stay on subject, you know?
My
So,
pleasure.
Margie, thank you very much for joining us today, and hopefully we will see you soon.
How do we get a hold of you? What's your phone number, contact information?
Phone number is 661-295-2025, and our website is oakmontofsantaclarita.com.
That's easy. It's long, but it's
that
easy.
is, that's terrific.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thanks, Margie.
I'm Barbara Cochran with my co-host, Dr. Jean Dorio, on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.